The main opposition Democratic Labour Party ended its controversial 69th annual conference Sunday with the expelled members, including the party's former leader, Dr. Ronnie Yearwood, not reinstated, and the divide in the movement still evident, according to watchers. The new leader, Ralph Thorne, announced a new team of spokespersons during his main address and said the party will soon nominate a new senator. But the issues that have divided the party in recent weeks manifested itself, with long-standing members claiming they were locked out of the main conference.
And I want to point out, it is a threat to democracy when a political party can disbar its members from entering the institution on today, which is our second day of conference, where we have business to conduct, and we are being disbarred and left on the outside of the gate.
Now this morning I'm telling you that you can't get in here. This is Barbados. Yes.
I'm the chairperson of the Young Democrats, the leader, the elected leader of the youth arm of this party, and I'm being excluded from entering the premises of the Democratic Labour Party. Never in my almost years, 28, 29, just no years of living, have I witnessed something like this. This is supposed to be a democratic country. We are supposed to be a democratic party. We have the name in our name, the word in our name, and this is what's happening. And then they expect Barbadians, right-thinking members of society, to vote for these people come election day, and you cannot even uphold the constitution of a party. How are you guys supposed to uphold the constitution of a country? What message is this sending?
On Saturday, the party's conference descended into chaos as internal strife over leadership escalated into the suspension of the day's business without a session being fully convened. The proceedings were disrupted when so-called renegade members breached security and came to the conference floor.
All we wanted was a peaceful conference. All the people of Barbados wanted was a peaceful conference. And they gave us the undertaking that they would do that. We resumed the conference. And as soon as we resumed the conference, under the watch of the Barbados Police Service, the commotion began again. The singing, the chanting, the disturbance, and the two expelled members then presented themselves and walked into the hall and were greeted by those what I call renegade persons, whose decision it was today, a deliberate decision to disrupt this conference, to disturb this conference, and to breach the peace.
Competing factions within the party clashed over the legitimacy of its leadership and the conduct of its proceedings.
Conference is the highest decision-making body of the Democratic Labour Party, and yesterday that membership decided that Mr. Steve Blackett and myself were the duly elected President and General Secretary of this party, and any other decisions taken to demote us were invalid. That was the membership of the Democratic Labour Party speaking.
This internal conflict has its roots in the recent expulsion of Dr. Ronnie Yearwood and Steve Blackett from the party. Their sacking came under controversial circumstances, a move viewed by their supporters as unjust and heavy-handed. The suspensions have reportedly led to a deepening divide within the DLP, with one faction rallying behind the current leadership, including Acting General Secretary Pedro Shepherd and President Andre Worrell, while another faction, loyal to Yearwood and Blackett, has been pushing for their reinstatement. Yearwood has called on Barbadians, especially the youth, to rally in support of democracy, warning that the party's inability to resolve its internal issues could hinder the country's progress.
If the Democratic Labour Party fails to become the great institution again that it can become, the country fails. We all will suffer. That is just the reality, and I do not understand how people who have passed their sell-by dates do not get that. Your season has ended. Your time has come to an end. Stand aside and let the youth, let the women of this party take their full place and do what we have to do.
This is Primetime Caribbean. More news after the break.